Samsung is trying to educate customers on the importance of recycling. They have set up various collection points in France where residents can drop off their used devices such as phones, tablets, and accessories. According to Samsung, more than 100 million unused phones are just tucked away in drawers, which is an issue because a large number of smartphone components can be recycled. But I'd say rather than spreading awareness about the importance of recycling, just support your devices in terms of software and hardware for longer periods of time, so consumers don't have to buy a new phone just because their battery or screen starts acting up. And make sure to follow this channel for all the tech news, as they are also 100% recyclable. So the fact that Samsung is trying to raise awareness about recycling is all well and good, but I want to talk about the larger issue here. So if we all remember, like, the recycling triangle, I believe it goes reduce, reuse, and then recycle. You see, recycling is actually the last step. So if we just go through those things real quick. So first of all, we have reduce. So what would that mean? That would mean, for instance, consumers keeping their phones instead of, for instance, 2 years, keeping them for 4 years. Now, how could Samsung make their consumers keep their phones for a lot longer? Well, you know, providing the software updates for a longer time, which honestly they do, and that's fine, but providing parts for these devices in the long run as well. And I mean, making them actually affordable to be bought, you know, making the schematics of the mobile devices, for instance, available to third-party repair shops, so people can actually repair their device with new parts, and it's actually economical, so they don't just have to buy a new phone. You know, for instance, so I'm still on a Galaxy S8 at this point. It's like, what, 6 years old? And the really major issue that I just have is it's very difficult to find actually good quality batteries for this thing. I'm on like my 5th battery on this thing. Otherwise, it's, you know, it's good enough for everything that I do. So that would be the point, to make everything, you know, just reduce it. The next point is reuse. So you may want to reuse your old smartphone device. This is my old Nexus 5. I use it for some development work over here. Obviously, you can take your old device, maybe you can sell it, maybe you can give it to someone who will find some use of it, you know, and that is also going to be better than recycling, which should be the last point, which should be, you know, the inevitable location where these old devices are going to end up at when nobody just can have any more use of them because they're just so outdated. So pretty cool. They're raising awareness in France specifically by putting some drop-off points there where people can carry their electronics to be recycled, which I don't really know how big of a deal that is. I mean, like, recycling points within cities and stuff are pretty common these days. But they are apparently going to have a keynote as well with the chairman and the CEO talking about the importance of recycling, which is great. But like I said, I wish all of these manufacturers would just sort of focus on reducing the waste first. You know, obviously they don't want to do that. You know, they're all for recycling, because if you're gonna recycle your old device, you're still gonna buy a new device from them. They're still gonna get a margin from you. But if you're gonna be reducing your waste and you're going to be buying new devices less frequently, well, then you are directly affecting their profits. So that is why they don't really want to do that, even though it is going to be way better for the planet than just simply recycling. But at the very least, spreading awareness about people taking their old electronics that are tucked away in drawers or whatever and recycling them is still better than nothing. So yeah, pretty cool. But, you know, reduce, reuse, and then recycle.